This is Jason with Mountain Tactical Company. For the last 13 years, Mountain Tactical has helped an average of 15,000 to 20,000 Tikka shooters build their ultimate Tikka rifle system. Today, we're going to be talking about the Raptor Mount. So what is the Raptor Mount and why do you need one? Great question. So the Raptor Mount is our patented one-piece optic mount that utilizes the dovetail on the top of the action as well as our recoil lug that we implemented and invented in our Picatinny rails. A lot of people don't know we were the first company to do that. I screwed up the patent paperwork and hey, now we have a bunch of copycats. Didn't screw up the patent paperwork on this one, we got it. So with the one-piece mount, the advantage is we know that the scope rings are in alignment because this is machined out of one solid piece of billet aluminum. Additionally, we have this nice robust base that can have a 0 or 20 MOA cant to it. We also make 30 millimeter and 1-inch rings depending on what scope you're running. And if you look at our website, you can see based on the scope bell size and which rifle you have, which ring height you need to work with your rifle. We've done all the heavy lifting for you. All you have to do is take a look, see what bell diameter you have, and then which rifle you have and you know which Raptor mount to get. So, what does it take to install a Raptor mount on your favorite Tikka T3 or T3x rifle system? First, you're gonna need a good gun caddy or a gun vise that's gonna hold your rifle steady while you are mounting the Raptor mount. Additionally, you're gonna need a Torx driver with a T15 Torx bit. So, when you unbox your Raptor mount, all the screws are tight. So first thing we're gonna do is we are going to unscrew these little T15 driven cap screws that hold the floating claws in. We're gonna leave the ring tops on because we don't have a scope we're gonna be mounting right now. The scope mounting process is just like any other scope mounting process, so we're gonna focus on mounting the Raptor mount to the rifle system. Before I place the Raptor mount on the rifle system, I'm gonna take a little bit, my favorite gun cleaner, and I'm just gonna wipe the top of my action and make sure that there's no debris, no moisture, no dust. We don't want to trap moisture because that will cause corrosion. We don't want any dust or particles or anything between the Raptor mount and the top of the action because that will keep that perfect mating surface from happening. So now we know everything's clean. I'm going to take the fixed claw side, slip it into the dovetail, and I'm going to slide the Raptor mount forward until I fall into that little notch on the top of the action and the recoil lug will fall in. And I'm going to put a little bit of forward pressure on the Raptor mount, making sure that everything rotates flat. And then I'm going to do a quick visual inspection, make sure there's no gaps that would indicate that there's some sort of particle or something in between the mount and the rifle. We don't want that. So everything looks good on this rifle. I'm going to put some downward pressure and forward pressure against that recoil lug. And I'm not going to torque these claws down just yet. I'm just going to get them snug onto the action. So the claws are snug, which means they're actually putting downward force and side force on this mount. This is actually pretty unique. This mount actually captures any sort of recoil energy in all axes of motion on the rifle. I'm going to do a double check, make sure that there's no gap in my mount. Again, that would indicate that something got trapped in between there. Now, again, while putting forward pressure towards the muzzle, I'm going to torque the claws to 35 inch-pounds. And the reason why I want that forward pressure or pressure towards the muzzle while I'm torquing this down is so that we have positive engagement with the recoil lug on the mount and the rifle action. So now I'm going to go through, check torque there. So I'm going on the inside screws, outside screws. I'm going to go back and do this 3 times. Just to ensure nothing moves and we have even torque on the entire mounting platform. Well, there we go. We've mounted our Raptor mount to this particular T3x Rough Tech. Next, we would mount our favorite scope in here. Mounting the scope is just like mounting any other scope. Take the scope manufacturer's recommended torque settings, typically 18 inch-pounds to 25 inch-pounds for the ring so you don't damage your scope tube, and level everything out from there. You'll notice that this scope mount is designed to match the lines of the action. We wanted to make something that was aesthetically pleasing. Many scope mounts on the market just look like afterthoughts stuck on top of the rifle. We wanted to make this particular scope mount look like it was meant to be here from the factory. And I think we've done a good job accomplishing that. And if you want a one-piece, robust, incredibly accurate scope mount for your Tikka T3 or T3x rifle, you just can't beat the Raptor mount by Mountain Tactical. We're going to get a scope mounted to this and go get some trigger time.